But yeah, anyways, that night he left and was gonna try to climb up that fucking tower and delete himself, and I didn't know what to do. He would do that to get me a reaction out of me. So I was like, Diana's asleep, so like, what the fuck am I supposed to do, you know? So I did follow him. I mean, it was just like right outside the house that I stopped him. But yeah, so that was some of the stuff. Because the thing is like with him, he would like, you know, they say narcissists don't admit their faults, but he would, just to be like, he'd be like, yeah, you're right. Sometimes, or it just depended on the time. It depends. Like, he would either do that, or he would be like, project it back onto me, just depending, you know. Or like sometimes he would just randomly be like, you just message me, you deserve better than me, blah blah blah. Just like, it's like, well then be better. And I'm telling you, like, for me, BPD, it would only be really bad and horrible with toxic people. So when I would experience people that weren't toxic, eventually, like now, it could still, see, that's the whole park. It could still put me in that state. Like, I'll have symptoms if I'm in contact or close enough to a toxic person, which I was recently. So yeah, that's how I know anyways. See, like, the park's over there. I don't want that guy to think I'm trying to record him. Because yeah, I am disorganized attachment style. Like, I'm healing it though. I'm pretty much earned secure. But I can still see the cycles. Like, sometimes I can it depends on the person. Like, okay, it depends on what the toxic or narcissistic person's style is that they're coming towards you with. Sorry, there's a train. I haven't walked around this in years. It might be done, the train. Okay. So, okay, let me try to find where did it go from here? You see a train over there. So okay. So I had 2 experiences recently. I'm gonna walk around. I'm not gonna go down the hill. I'm gonna walk to the sidewalk way over here. Anyways, okay, so I had 2 experiences like within the last several months. One, I was in my avoidant attachment, and they were in their anxious attachment. Because narcissists have that same disorganized as BPD, but they're abusive. BPD can be too, you know, if you're not aware enough and you're not like working on yourself, yeah. Because honestly, there are people who have both. But anyways, so that person was like in there anxious, and they were love bombing me, even though I kept telling them I wanted to be only friends. And I know that was giving them narcissistic rage. I could feel it. It would come over to me, and I'd be enraged that they wouldn't fucking get the picture, that they wouldn't stop trying to love bomb me. And they would report my shit. Like the stuff where I would like put subtle, like a song that's like, we're just friends, that song. They reported that stuff. See, they'll do that shit if you're not falling for their love bombing and shit, they'll subtly be all, I'm gonna report your shit, or just do whatever the fuck to get to you. It didn't work. I pissed them off to where they discarded me. But I was in my avoidant, and they were in there anxious, so because they were love bombing really hard. In spite of me telling them several times, I just want to be friends. And they're like, then they'd be, I know, so do I. And then they'd be like, the next time they'd be like, I can't stop, you're always on my mind. Or they're like, you're always on my mind. And I was like, that was at the end where I was like, I'm not replying to it. You're clearly not understanding it, so I can tell you how many times. So they ended up, I think I made a post saying, see, I was forward with what I was saying. They still didn't listen. So then I started being subtle with my fucking posts. I started making posts that were like pissing you off because you know you're not gonna fucking listen to me. I'm gonna do stuff to piss you off. Since you're doing stuff to piss me off, I don't usually do that, but like, I mean, I used to all the time, but I don't usually do that now, except for then. And they ended up unfollowing me and everything, so it was like, okay, no, I'm gonna block you, because that's like, you unfollow me, I'm gonna block you. You're not gonna sit here and stalk me still, you know, like, you know, I don't know. And then another one really recently put me in the, like, they probably were watching me for a while. This is also what they do. They will watch you they could watch you for years until they be like, okay, this is the time to act. This is a perfect time to act. So this person probably watched me for several months before they ever even talked to me. And then they saw my vulnerable post at my grandma's gravesite, and they're like, you sound like you are the one who needs, well, you said it's a message if anybody needs to talk, but you sound like you're the one who needs that. You know, they played off like they wanted to be that person. And then they're like, they're easy to talk to. You know, it was really good at first. And then there was a time where, like, it was weird, okay, because then I ended up getting, like, super turned on, which that doesn't happen to me unless, like, we've already established a bond long enough, you know, or whatever. So if it happens, like, out of nowhere, that's a huge sign for me. That happened to me back in August 2022 with another person. Randomly, it just happened. And I was like, but it took me longer to cut that person off. So I have grown to where I can cut people off really fast.